everyone, this is Pam from Papillon Digital Designs, and today let's have some fun with foils. You can do a lot of things with foil. You can use the regular foil, the mini foil which you have, or the embossing foil which you have in the Hobby Lobby, or you can use these tapes which come with an adhesive backing. So you can use these tapes, though you'll be limited by the width of the tape, or you can recycle and use soda cans for making some fun project. Here are a couple of things I have made. This is a tag. Now I cut the base tag with cardstock, and then I use this tape. You can also spray with adhesive spray and then stick foil, so that will give you a lot of width. But in this case, you'll have a line going through this place. But what I did was I used a Tim Holtz folder which automatically had a line there, an embossing line there. Let me keep something dark so that behind it, so that you can see. So here we go. Now we have a line over there which falls. I place the tag exactly over that line so that the line disappears. So this is the fun tag, and here is a rosette, and I'll show you in a minute how I did that. And here is a letter which I embossed portions of the letters and then stamped it with StazOn. Put some perfect pearls. I used perfect pearls, mixed it with a little bit of water, and then applied it for the peacock feather and some beads and buttons and whatnot. And even this was this round things. If you have leather tools and such, see, I have this fun set for leathers, or for stamping, or for anything. If you're a jeweler, you might have that. I just gave a whack with the hammer. I just placed this and gave a tap, and then took out a circle punch and just punched that out. And one thing when you use the adhesive tape is tiny punches don't do well with that because the glue gets stuck, so you might have to show a little bit of care over there. So now we have a circle thing, and I will use a cardstock and then take this adhesive backing and stick it on a cardstock, and I can have some fun titles. I can even go ahead and use a small punch. Of course, after I do all the layers, I can just punch it up and use this as a title, like a tag on the title. So that is also a fun thing which you can do. And here, using the punches, if you have punches like this, layered punches, I have this retro EK Success ones. So what I did was this flowers. For the biggest one, the large punch can easily punch through the cardstock, so I covered both sides of the cardstock, then put the punch here and punched out the flower. Now for the tiny ones, these small ones don't do well on the so thick layers, and they also get stuck with the tape. So what I did was I just took a small sheet foil and carefully laid that, and this is good for your punch too. So punching through foil sharpens your punch. And then once I had two pieces back to back, I used a glue and then stuck them back to back, and just take glossy accents really sticks well to metal. And once I had that, I just passed it through a Cuttlebug folder. Remember, for embossing it's B and B, just A. Always the cutting mat A is at the bottom. For embossing it's just B and B. And once I got that flower, I just took some Sharpie red and just color it in. I just colored that design in. I colored on both sides. Advantage of using alcohol inks is that if you take a StazOn stamp cleaner and then put it on your, if you make a mistake, you can just go over and erase it. Suppose I had a dark color and I didn't like it, so just dip that in the StazOn and you just give a wipe and the alcohol ink just goes away, and there you have a clean, you can go over and redo, also embellish with the rhinestone. You can also use your nestabilities. I've used these two nestabilities on the soda can, and when you're using nestability, the blade portion, there'll be a raised portion, so keep it on the wrong side facing up, so that's what cuts. And if there's embossing, it comes on this side. And for cutting, you need a C plate and then a B plate. And for cutting a soda can, try to use at least maybe one cardstock or thinner cardstock and go over 4 or 5 times. And then for this, like in this case, it gets stuck here. So don't take this out. Don't take this out when removing all the little itsy bitsy pieces. So that way this gives support and it's easy for you to remove all the tiny pieces. See here, this cut, I left it like this. So then I took everything out, and for this I just took a pin when it was inside and then pushed it. So when you have a stable surface, it's easy for you to cut. So and this will make a fun flourish. And you can just color it. You can take a felt thing, and if you want gold, I found that to get gold, Scotch alcohol ink, that gives a good color, golden tint, like for this one. To make that rosette flower, couple of things to keep in mind when doing that is the type of folder. If you want to emboss it, the type of folder you use. There are 2 embossing folders. You can see the difference in size. And when you want to emboss a long sheet, the small folders work well, so that you can keep it like this and go on embossing. But suppose, because this doesn't go, the width is so high that it doesn't go like this in the inside the Cuttlebug, so that's a problem. So what do you do when you have such embossing folders and you want to do? You take a pen knife and just open this and go just a little over, just this area, just go over with make a slit and then pass this through. And the second thing what you have to pay attention, when you first try to make folds, don't take the whole adhesive paper backing out. That's just asking for trouble, because it's so thin that it gets stuck. So just take little by little and go on folding. Just take a little at a time and make the folds. So it'll not be very clean, it'll be a little messy. You go on adjusting, you go all the way through. So go on making folds till you go all the way around. Maybe the last, just turn it back so that that shape doesn't show through, and stick it in. So, and once you get that shape however you want, you will take time, and of course do it neatly. Just take just punch a smaller circle. You will take a smaller size circle and then stick it in the middle. If you want to emboss this, go ahead and emboss that. Once you emboss that, you can put that in the middle, and then you can put some fun shapes or some buttons which you have. Here's a plastic button which I have. I'll just take the shank off, and then once I got that embossed, I'll color it and then put the button on there. Have fun with foil. Thank you for watching.